Welcome to Wedding Happy Hour, a Southern Bride podcast. I'm Shara Myers.
And I'm Lindsey Neighbors. We are editors at Southern Bride Magazine and southernbride.com.
Wedding Happy Hour is a fun place where we get together with our favorite drink of choice. Champagne, of course.
And where we interview industry experts for helpful tips, talk with brides and couples that are planning their wedding, and even chat with them after their I-dos for their personal experiences.
We will also do what we do best during Wedding Happy Hour and table talk with the Southern Bride Tribe on current and upcoming trends and how we really feel about them, and if we think they're here to stay or not.
So sit back, sip on a little something as we get into today's show. Hey guys, it's Lindsey here, and I am so happy to be with you all today for a little mini-sode where I am going back into the Southern Bride archives. A few years ago, I had the pleasure of chatting with the one and only Randy Fenoli. You know him from TLC's Say Yes to the Dress. And I had the pleasure of speaking with him because he had a new book coming out. And so I got to chat with him, ask him some questions, and he is just so amazing and has such an infectious personality, which of course we see on the show, but you really hear that in our interview, and what you see is what you get. So, we always see on the show that he offers tips to brides. He does not hold back. He really shares, his thoughts, and we get a lot of that in this interview, which I cannot wait to share. So if you're a bride to be, in the search for your gown or just needing some tips, this should really be helpful. He really believes in a bride, staying true to her true self and her true bridal style. And so I cannot wait for you to hear a little about what Randy has to share. So sit back, relax, grab your favorite cocktail if you can. I'm sipping on a little champagne myself, and enjoy. Here's Randy. When a bride schedules her first appointment, do you suggest she do her homework on styles and designers she's interested in, or do you suggest she arrive with an open mind?
I suggest that she does her homework and pulls out styles and images of dresses that she likes, as you said, like designers and whatnot, and keep an open mind as well. And just realize that, it may be something that you like, but it may not look good on you, or you may try on something different that you had never thought of.
Right.
But it's always good to at least have kind of a direction to start.
Right.
But it's also good, as we both said, to keep an open mind, because you never know.
Exactly.
Until you try it on.
Exactly.
It fits differently, and you just don't know.
True. Very true.
They'll come in and say, I want, I don't like strapless, I don't like lace, I don't like beading, and then they end up with a strapless lace dress.
I know. That happens all the time. So open mind is always good. We have a young lady in our office who is starting to look for gowns, and one question she had was, what undergarment should she take along when going to try on gowns? Should it be a strapless bra, or should she take a few options in case she tries on various styles?
I would probably do strapless if she has. Make sure it's white.
Right.
That's my number one pet peeve, is when they come in with black.
That's so true.
And they're trying on white dresses. Unless she's fuller busted and she needs that support from a strap. If she's going to be wearing, she's going to be wearing straps for her wedding day. I don't know if she's really busty. Then she'll need to find a gown that's going to support her with that. Or at the bridal salon, usually the bridal salons provide. They have bras at the salon.
Okay.
Tell her to go ahead and wear the strapless if she has it, but they usually have like bustiers at the bridal salon.
Great, that's true.
Most bridal salons do.
True. Okay. I believe you touch on this in your book, but many brides have their mind dead set on a specific style. However, that may not best fit her body type. How do you handle a situation like this and help a bride realize that another style will be more flattering to her shape?
I try my hardest. I don't always win the battle. Sometimes the bride will put on a dress and it's absolutely magnificent, and she likes it, and then she puts on another dress, and I think, okay, she, her stomach is pooching out,
right,
and whatever, and she's tearing up and saying, oh my God, this is the dress of my dreams, I love it, love it, love it, and I put her in front of the mirror, and I'm like, okay, now I want you to really take a good look at this and turn sideways and take another good look at it, and what do you think? And she's like, I love it, it's my dress, it's my dress. Well,
goodness.
What am I supposed to say?
Right.
So people ask me all the time, would you ever lie to a bride? And I'm like, yes, I would. If she says, this dress makes me feel more beautiful than anything I've ever put on before, then what am I supposed to say?
Right.
Because I think the most important thing, even above how you look, is how you feel in the dress.
Exactly.
I mean, if you look beautiful, if you feel awful, then it's going to show on your face.
Right.
And you're going to be uncomfortable your entire wedding day. So I think it's more important to find a dress that makes you feel beautiful.
True. That's so great.
And like I said, I often lose the battle. I don't have 3 hours or an hour
right.
on the sofa.
Right.
to get her to see her body differently.
Right.
I do my best.
That's true. That's true. What are some questions you may ask a bride in order to define her bridal style and help select gowns that fit the style she envisions?
Well, the first question I ask is her budget.
Right.
Because I need to know, that's going to narrow it down. And then, ask her what kind of silhouette she's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I may ask questions about the venue or, what's the theme, if she has a theme, if it's like country chic or if it's bohemian or if it's very formal and she wants something blinged out, or if it's a Princess Cinderella, at a castle, or if it's in a barn that's more rustic, but she wants to go rustic chic.
Right.
What is really her vision of what it's going to look like? That's really going to help me a lot as well. I had one bride that was in tears, and the consultant came to me and she said, the bride's crying in my room. I'm like, what's wrong? She said, Randy, you need to come help me with this. And I went in and I said, what's going on? She said, this is my 7th bridal salon, and I could not find a wedding dress for my wedding. And I said, well, what's the problem? And she said, well, I'm getting married in a barn, and I can't find a dress that I like that fits with the barn. And I said, well, what do you see yourself wearing? She says, well, I like bling, but that's not going to go with the theme. And I said, give me a second. So I went and pulled a dress that I thought would fit her body, completely blinged out, beautiful, gorgeous dress by Monique Lullier, and said, try this on. And she started crying. She goes, oh my gosh, after she put it on, she said, I love this dress. And I said, then wear it.
Yeah.
And throw a chandelier up in the middle of the barn.
Yeah.
And make it work. I said, that's what you do. I said, you don't have to get a dress that looks like it belongs in a barn. I've seen brides get married on the beach, and, they're not going to wear just a little slip dress.
Right.
I've seen 3 weddings on the beach, and one was wearing a Herrera gown. It was satin petals. One was wearing an Oscar de la Renta, and the other was wearing a Panina Tournée. And they were not beach wedding dresses. They were dresses that they felt beautiful in.
Right. That is such a great tip. Just go with what you feel good in.
Yeah, and then make it work.
Right.
As
you know all too well, friends and family often accompany the bride during her appointments and fittings. What is a good number of friends and family to bring along so that it does not get too crowded or opinionated?
The amount that you can handle. And hang on one second.
Sure.
Oh, okay. Okay, as I should say. I think, this is where I'm going to give a little tough love. I think if someone thinks they're mature enough to get married and start a family, then I think that they should be mature enough to be able to handle a bridal appointment.
Right.
And when I say that, what I mean is, if you have a conversation, I told this to one of the Skype sessions I had today with one of the brides. I said, she said, I'm worried about my entourage not liking the dress that I like. I said, well, then that's going to be your fault. I said, you need to have a conversation with them and let them know that it is an honor to accompany you to this bridal appointment. And you need to lay down the ground rules. Like number 1, my budget's $1,000. So unless you're willing to put in another $9,000, don't go for a $10,000 dress.
Right.
Number 2, I don't want to look like Cinderella. I want a slimmer silhouette. I'm not 16 years old, so don't go pulling a little Sweet 16 poofy ball gown, that's in tulle that is going to envelop me and that I don't want to wear. It's not my vision, it's yours. I want my vision for my wedding day. Number 3, I'm very self-conscious about my hips But when I'm on the pedestal standing in front of 30 other people in the bridal salon in a three-way mirror, don't say, damn, that dress makes sure hips look wide, because I'm going to start bawling and end up in the dressing room in tears.
Yes.
So I think it's about having a conversation with these people and letting them know that this is what you expect from them at this bridal appointment. And I think that, and what the bride today said, well, I'm going to have a problem with that, because and I said, well, you better just grow up and deal with it.
Right.
This is life. And if you, once again, if you think you're mature enough to get married, this is life.
That's so
it's
true.
It's a part of it. It's about taking control of your appointment and your entourage and letting them know that this is your wedding and it's your vision. It's not theirs.
Right. Right. That is such great advice. I mean, getting married, so you gotta grow up.
Well, thank goodness. Thank goodness most brides don't take it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a show.
True. Very true.
That's why we have a show. Is
right.
They don't have this conversation. They get there and it's like, oh, your budget, 5,000. I thought we said it was going to be 1,000. And suddenly there's just drama.
Yeah.
And that's the way it goes.
Never a dull moment.
Never.
Is the trend of having a gown for your wedding and one for your reception still going strong, or has this trend subsided and are brides sticking with just one gown these days?
I think it depends on the bride, but I think it's still. I think it's still going strong for those that can afford it. I think it's for me. I'm a traditionalist. I like one wedding dress,
right.
And I think spend it. I mean, how long are you going to be in it?
Right.
It's one day. Really find a dress that you love and wear it. But, however, with that being said, sometimes, if there's an after party, where the grown-ups are gone and it's going to be more like a club-like theme and your dress just doesn't fit in with that and you want to change, then you might want to. But here's my whole concern with changing wedding dresses is that, how long is the typical reception? You would probably know this better than I actually.
Probably a few hours.
Yeah. So you're going to change dresses. So let me see. You've got to gather up your bridal party, your girls and your maid of honor and whoever's going to help you and whatever. And you're going to have to get your hotel room key or whatever and get on the elevator and go up to your room. And, of course, the first thing you want to do is do a toast and a glass of champagne. And then you're going to have to get out of your dress. And then you're going to touch up your makeup. And then you're going to have to get into the new dress. And you're going to have to use the restroom and blah, blah, blah. And by the time you know it, and you get back on the elevator and go back downstairs and you've left your wedding for an hour or your reception for an hour.
That's
so
right.
You really missed out on, maybe a quarter of your reception.
That's right.
So is it really worth it just to put on a fashion show? I mean, I just don't think it's, I think that what you need to look at what's really important. Is it about, showing off that, I can have two dresses? Or is it really about being present at your wedding? It's kind of the same thing about tweeting.
Right.
My opinion on tweeting. It's like, are you going to live life or tweet about it? It's hard.
Yes.
It's a fine balance. I mean, I have to be on Twitter and social media, and it's really challenging for me because I don't have a publicist to do that for me or somebody that tweets for me. So it's like, I can't tweet as often as somebody that can afford it. And it's like, well, am I going to, I was just in Paris a couple weeks ago, and oh my gosh, I've got 1,000 photos probably from Paris. And I only tweeted a couple. It's because I was living in the moment.
Right, and you have to.
I have, and you have to have those memories. So, same thing with the wedding. Are you going to be in the moment, or are you going to, do a fashion show for everybody? I don't think anybody is really going to. I mean, they're going to say, "Oh, look at that beautiful second dress," and boom, it's over. I think they would rather see you just enjoying yourself and having a good time. And, oh my gosh, did you see how much fun that was? Instead of, oh, we're so impressed that she had a second dress. I don't think, really?
Right.
I think for me, it's sometimes can be a little pretentious even.
Right.
That's a strong word. But
right. I agree.
You find a softer word. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Since this wedding will be featured in our winter-spring 2016 issue, I have to ask, what are a couple of trends we will be seeing in 2016, and is there a new designer we should keep our eye on?
Oh, gosh. There are so many new designers.
Or any new trends that you think we'll really be seeing a lot of, or have they made a big change or not so much?
Let me think. I don't know that those have been determined yet.
Okay.
Because,
too early to tell.
Yeah, it's a little too early to tell. I don't know if, like, the movie Cinderella is going to have an impact
right.
on, bridal gowns. I don't know if, I can tell you that, and I say this a lot, that really the trend is that every single bride wants to look different from every other bride.
Right.
So, kind of everything is trending right now. Like, you can do, it really depends on your wedding. You can be traditional. You can be, super sparkly and blinged out. You can be bohemian. You can be country chic. You can, be trendy. You can really do anything you want. You can be, like, very chic and dramatic with your dress, or very understated. It really just depends on what you want to say about who you are as a bride and what you want your guests to see. So I kind of think that there's kind of a little bit of everything today, which is it's great for brides to have such a selection, but it's also they have to really know who they are and what they want going in.
Right.
Keep that focus on that. Otherwise, they could really get lost and get overwhelmed.
True.
In the sea of wedding dresses. But I think trends. Shorter trains. Are a trend because brides don't want to carry around that big bustle all night during the reception.
Right.
I think they're thinking more about the reception rather than the ceremony. So they're not thinking, oh, I want this big long train when I walk down the aisle. They're thinking, well, I want to party all night, and that's going to be so heavy. I think really low backs, are still in, and that's because straps are in. With a strapless gown and the straps and yokes and whatever, it support a low back, because with a strapless dress you can't do a low back. It won't stay up.
Right.
I think dramatic silhouettes are in.
There's so many. I know. Is there a style that you particularly love, or is there a style or trend that you just really love? I'm sure you love them all, but
I have to be honest with you. I really love all of them, and it really comes down to each specific bride. When a bride comes in and she's a bohemian bride and she puts on this dress, I'm like, oh my God, that's it. I love it. And when a bride's a princess, she comes on a princess bride, she comes on and puts on this big ball gown. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. Like, I love the trend that really represents who the bride is. So I love all of them. I'm glad they have such a great selection. I do like gowns that are visually beautiful, 360 degrees, The designer has really sought out the gown from all angles. So whether you're looking at it from the front or the back or the side, it always looks beautiful.
Right. Great. When we think of iconic, famous brides and their gowns, who comes to your mind as your all-time favorite?
I would say Kate Middleton.
Yes.
And I used to say Grace Kelly, but I'm going to put Kate over that because Grace Kelly's gown was designed by, I want to say Helen Rose, and it was a gift from MGM. So she didn't really choose the dress. It was designed for her, and a gift to her. Whereas Kate, I think, had a lot of input on her dress.
Right.
And I think it was grand enough to, be for royalty and stand up to a venue like Westminster Abbey, yet it didn't overpower her. I thought that it fit her like a glove. I mean, it looked like it was spray painted on her, which is very important to me. I think that it was regal enough for somebody marrying a prince, yet, it was just everything about it I thought was just perfection. And all the details, like her bouquet, I don't think it was too
overpowering.
Exactly, and it didn't take away from her beauty. And I think every bit of it. The only thing that I would have done differently if I was styling her is I thought, oh well, it's a high neck gown. She's got long hair, and I don't like hair to lay on the lace of a gown. I think it looks a little messy sometimes. But she said said in an interview, I wore my hair down because I never wear it up, and I wanted William to recognize me when I walked in the aisle.
That is so true. Look like yourself.
Yeah, so for me, that was like, okay, well then it's okay to wear it down for the high neck gown, because that's why. I mean, she had so much. I think she was so mature in choosing her dress and the reasons she chose everything. Like even down to her bouquet, she had a flower. They were all flowers of England, and a sprig of myrtle, that was carried by all the royals, and one of the flowers was called Sweet William.
Oh, I did not realize that.
Yeah, so she put a lot of thought into detail, and I thought that really showed such an amount of maturity. And even that she let her sister, they said, "Oh my God, did you put in that sexy, sexy dress?" Well, you know what? It wasn't that the dress was like risque.
No,
she was covered up completely. She's got a great figure,
right?
So it showed me the maturity level in Kate, saying, "You know what? I love my sister, and I want her to look beautiful too, and feel beautiful in her dress."
Right.
And that said a lot about her, who she is as a person, and her confidence level, and that she's like, "I'm marrying a prince. Yes, Pippa's going to look sexy, but I'm going to be marrying a prince, so who cares? Nobody's going to be taking away from my spotlight." So I think it really said a lot about her maturity. For me, she's one of my favorites.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, just a couple more and we'll be finished. What are some helpful tips and things a bride should keep in mind as she selects the bridesmaids' dresses? And do you suggest the same style of dress for each bridesmaid, or are different styles best since girls have different shapes?
The number one thing to keep in mind is these people are your friends, and they do make beautiful bridesmaids' dresses today, so you don't have to put them in ugly dresses. They're not going to take away from you, and they should look beautiful, and it's only going to make your wedding pictures look beautiful and your wedding look more beautiful. So I think, once again, an insecure bride is going to put them in ugly dresses. And I do feel, though, there needs to be some kind of continuity, especially with color and fabric. I don't like a rainbow wedding. It looks like you just pulled anybody out of the pew and put them up there. They could be different styles, but I think if the fabric and color are the same, I think it will create a cohesive look that's going to be, that's going to create beautiful pictures and make it a cohesive wedding.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Last but certainly not least, your book, It's All About the Dress, is full of amazing tips and info for brides. If you could pick one secret or piece of advice from your book that you think all brides should know, what would that be?
To enjoy this moment. And when I say not this moment, this process, the planning of the wedding and the wedding day and walking down the aisle and the entire thing, just enjoy it. And so many of them say, I'm so stressed out. If you're stressed out, go to Vegas and get it over with. Go to City Hall.
Right.
I don't want to hear you're stressed out. This should be one of the most enjoyable moments of your life. Taste that cake, every flavor that you're being served. Enjoy trying on the wedding dresses. Enjoy the venues. Enjoy picking the colors. Enjoy the time you're spending with your family and loved ones, and your bridesmaids, and have fun with the whole process. And enjoy the wedding day and take moments out of the day to enjoy it. And if you're not enjoying it, then what the heck are you doing it for?
Right.
You really should be enjoying this whole process and not be stressed out.
Absolutely.
And that's really the essence of the book, is to take away the stress. It's to kind of bring it down to, common sense and just, how we can do this and make sense out of all of it and make it simple.
Right. That is so great. Well, Randy, it has been an absolute pleasure. I cannot tell you. I think you've just really given some just truthful, just really great information. And I just think this will be an awesome piece, and they will just really, our readers will just really love it. And some things to think about for sure, but really from the heart. I can tell you just truly love, what you do, and that just is so apparent in everything, every bit of information you've given. So I thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Thank you
so much.
and
have a great day.
thank you. You too. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for Wedding Happy Hour. We hope you've enjoyed today's podcast.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Southern Bride Magazine, and also on Twitter at Southern Bride for updates on the next Wedding Happy Hour podcast, plus daily inspiration from southernbride.com. See you next time. Cheers!